Hey, I thought I'd do a review of the Jason films. I got the Friday the 13th from Crystal Lake to Manhattan Ultimate Edition. That's right, check that out. Look at that, that is sweet. Alright, on to the films. Now, Friday the 13th Part 1, of course, is a classic. I give it a 10 out of 10. Part 2 is a great film. Part 2 to me is more scarier than the first film. And I absolutely love Part 2. I love how Jason's eyes just showing out of the bag. I think that's really creepy. And I love the fact that you actually get to see the character instead of seeing him from a different point of view, basically. You actually get to see Jason, you know, with the bag on, coming around and killing people. And I think that adds to the scare factor, basically. But I love the ending to Part 1. I think the ending is tremendous. I love the ending to Friday the 13th Part 1. So I give those two films a 10 out of 10. I think they're classics. And we go on to Friday the 13th Part 3, which is a 3D film. And of course the director is saying, oh, it's scarier in 3D, blah, 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 blah. I don't care about all the gimmick stuff. Don't give me that it's scarier than in 3D. I'm going to judge it as it is, because I saw it on DVD, not 3D. So, anyways, Part 3 has really nice music to it, and it's kind of fun and goofy, and it's okay. I give it a 6 out of 10. It's not a scary Jason film, but it's kind of fun and entertaining, and it's got that fun vibe to it. So then on to Friday the 13th, the final chapter, which is one of the worst in the series in my opinion. I give it a 4 out of 10. I like Corey Feldman's character in this film. The only death scene I actually like in Friday the 13th, the final chapter, is the shower death scene. I find that very, very interesting and unexpected and a little bit creepy. But other than that, I really don't like the film that much. I find the characters to be lacking, and you don't really care about them when they die, you know what I mean? Except for you care about Corey Feldman's character, and that's about it. Because, you know, Corey Feldman's awesome, you know. Goonies, man. I mean, come on. He kicks ass, that dude. So, anyways, that's Friday the 13th, the final chapter. And then we go on to Friday the 13th, The New Beginning. It's kind of disappointing because Jason's not actually in the film. But one thing I like about New Beginning is the character of Tommy, who is cut off from the world. And I really like how the actor portrayed him in that role. I thought he did a really good job of portraying Tommy. And then we get to Part 6, where they try to make Tommy more interesting and suave and all like, ooh, I'm Tommy, I'm a pretty boy, and blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? They're just trying to spice it up a little bit, change the character totally. It's like, this is Tommy then, this is Tommy now. They're not the same character, and the actor did not try to portray Tommy as he was in Part 5, which was a character that was cut off from the world, that was all depressed. It's like replacing a fantastic actor who portrayed Tommy and just getting a totally different view on him. That's the problem with Friday the 13th Part 6. They're trying to make Tommy more interesting. But that's the one thing I like about A New Beginning was Tommy's character. So I give A New Beginning a 5 out of 10. But 6 is still better because Jason's actually in it, which makes it more interesting. And it's a pretty good film. There's some good scenes in it. I find Tommy very annoying, and the plot about him and his girlfriend kind of annoying. But that's my opinion. I give it a 6 out of 10. I still say it's a good film, but Tommy's totally different in Part 5 than he is in Part 6. And that's kind of the point I'm trying to get at. So anyways, on to Friday the 13th, The New Blood, which I really liked. I give it a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Kane Hodder's performance as Jason in A New Blood is fantastic. The story is great. You actually care about the character in New Blood, just like you cared about the character in the first movie, which is great. And then you got Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan, which is one of the worst Jason films in the series, by the way. And Jason's not even in Manhattan most of the movie, he's on a freaking boat. Basically, it's like Speed 2. It's like Jason's a terrorist, except he's not. He's just like some dude goes around and kills people. But other than that, it's like Speed 2. And there's a lot less people, but yeah, kind of like Speed 2, which is really horrible too, by the way. Not as good as Speed 1, I'll tell you that much. Jason Takes Manhattan, which should have been titled Jason on a Boat Going to Manhattan. Because he's basically not in Manhattan, and the director says, well, we wanted to film in Manhattan, well, we didn't have enough money, so we just put him on a boat, and we just shot it all on a boat, and called it Jason Takes Manhattan. He's like, I think we should have called it something else, but that's my opinion. And then we find out that the guy who made Jason Takes Manhattan worked on the Friday the 13th series, which was okay, because you had David Cronenberg making some of the episodes, but the guy who made Jason Takes Manhattan, not that great, I'm telling you. It's not that great of a film. He didn't do that good of a job. It's pretty corny. There's a scene where Jason kills a guy with a guitar, and you're just like, ugh. It's not that, and it's not scary at all, really. But you know, Kane Hodder is good. You know, he's good in New Blood, but they put him in Jason Takes Manhattan. It's just not that good. It's kind of like taking a fish and putting it out of water. That's kind of like what you're getting. You're not getting that scary environment that you get with other Jason films. So, and that's basically my view on them. And now that I've seen this series, I kind of understand what Andrew Form and Brad Fuller were saying about the remake of Friday the 13th, and how they wanted to put Jason back in his environment, you know, like Crystal Lake, because as soon as they took him out of Crystal Lake, it became a joke. And I agree with them. Jason Takes Manhattan is a joke. It's a joke movie. It's kind of like Freddy's Dead, basically. And, you know, that's a problem with these slasher films. They get kind of goofy and silly. And, you know, some people absolutely love Jason Takes Manhattan. And I don't understand that, because it's not scary. And he's not even in Manhattan. So, I mean, I respect everybody's opinion, but I just don't like it. It's not scary. And when I go to a movie, I want it to be scary. I don't want it to be some goofy movie that takes place on a boat. Another thing is, they barely even filmed Jason Takes Manhattan in New York. It was basically filmed in Vancouver. So there you go, everybody. It's barely even filmed in New York. So anyways, my favorite Friday the 13th films have to be Part 1, Part 2, then it would probably go New Blood, and then Part 6. And of course, the Friday the 13th remake would be on that list too, right next to Part 1 and 2. Because I love that movie. I'm going to keep that show. I love the remake. And I hope they make a sequel, because I really like what they did in the remake. And I love the series. I think it's really good and has some really interesting stories in it. You know, you got to take the whole series in perspective. And, you know, it got kind of corny. But, you know, there's some interesting films there to watch. So it's an overall great series. And I love the Friday the 13th Part 1, Part 2, New Blood, Part 6, and the remake. They're all awesome, yeah? So I highly suggest checking those movies out. Go see it now. And have an awesome night, everybody.